The Showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
But I do not apologize for this entrance. Fellas, growing up a fan of the People's Court, this is a dream come true. Steve Phillips, as you well know, Ron Darling. I get to be Judge Joseph Wapner. No, Doug Llewellyn. You guys remember him?
Yes, oh yeah, sure.
The post-game interview. All right, let's start with this. We teased it earlier. Snell, Sale, which one?
All right, so I'm taking Blake Snell, and here's why. You know, he is a guy that has a lot of streaks to his game, but right now he's locked in. You look at 2023, when he won the Cy Young Award, early on he had some struggles, but man, he turned it on from there. Look at that, first 9 starts last year, and then that Cy Young season piggybacking on that. He ends up winning the award. Then you think, okay, well, that was last year. What about this year? Well, this year, remember, he didn't have much of a spring training, rushed to get back in. Look at this year. First 6 starts, not very good, but look at the last 7 starts. He is that Cy Young pitcher again. And he's got the no-hitter in there now as well. And so for me, Blake Snell would be my go-to guy down the stretch because he is in one of those streaks that once he's in it, he doesn't get out of it.
I don't know if this is a showdown. It's kind of more like a lowdown because both these guys are so great. I'm going to take Chris Sale. I'm going to take the kind of the older left-hander. Why? Well, I think there's a lot of numbers you can say might not take him. Does he wither down in August and September? All those things. But I think certain pitchers get on a roll. He's on one of those rolls this year. He's at a place where he's going to be the comeback player of the year. He's going to be the Cy Young Award winner, in my estimation, after finishing so close so many different times. I think he's just on one of those rolls that when it comes to the postseason, if the Braves make it, he will be their number 1 choice to go to, or him and Fried.
So here's my big concern about Chris Sale. You mentioned it a little bit.
Yeah.
The wear and tear of the season. And this was when he was younger, now a little bit older. And you look at in his career, early on, March through July, the numbers are excellent. A 2.58 ERA. That's fantastic. But in August through October, the numbers spike up almost a whole run more per game. And so I look at it and think that's my biggest concern. Younger Snell, older Sale, I'm a little concerned about it.
That's a great argument. And I was just thinking about it this way. He's pitched so infrequently in the last few seasons. Does he have more pellets left than he would have if he was pitching 200 innings every year? And then I'm a big admirer of Sale. In 2018, when the Red Sox won, I believe he pitched in the postseason hurt, and he still got past it, and it was one of the most important reasons why they won the World Series.
The verdict is in. I'm going with you. Steve, well done. All of the points you made, plus you have the best gray hair in baseball since Leslie Nielsen, who was, of course, in The Naked Gun. But I digress. We hear this all the time. Steve, you first. Is a returning injured player just as good as a trade deadline acquisition?
Okay, so it's really difficult for a general manager as you get to the trade deadline. You've got some injured players going to come back after the deadline, so you think, maybe I don't need to go get somebody in a trade. The problem is this, that when somebody comes back from an injury, you don't always get the best guy back in return. You don't know sometimes whether he's going to step right in. Like Mookie Betts jumped in. Home run, single, he looks like Mookie Betts again. But not everybody does that. And the older they are, the less predictable they are. So generally, I'd like to get the traded player who's performing, and I know what I'm going to get from him and expecting the same. But sometimes you can't make a trade if you got somebody coming back because you're going to pay that guy money and he's going to slide into your rotation. So I would take the traded player over the injured player coming back if everything's equal. But sometimes you can't make the trade if you got a guy coming back off the injured list.
I think one of the hardest decisions to make in this wild card era, are you a pretender or are you a contender? That was always one of the toughest rules. And I think right now I would take the player that's coming back only because you know them. You know that they performed well for you on this stage. I find it funny. One time I was in Jim Leland's office and one of the trainers came in and said, you know, we've got this relief pitcher and he's coming back. He's going to throw on the side. Would you like to watch him, Skip? Said, I don't want to watch him. When he's throwing 100 and he's in a game, then I'll watch him. So I think that's how a lot of
such a Jim Leland.
Right?
That's so true.
I think that's how a lot of people feel about when you have a guy that's hurt and coming back. But you know what they're going to give you for the most part. The thing that can be a problem, I think, for any ball club is you can get to the point where you kind of hide behind those guys that are coming back. Hey, we're going to be fine. You know, I know we're not playing the way we can, but when we get so-and-so back, we're going to be better. And that is not always the case.
I'm a sucker for story time. That was amazing. Jim Leland smoking darts. I can totally imagine that situation playing out. Last one. Mookie Betts returning last night had us thinking. Who do you want to be up with the game on the line? I love this question. Shohei or Mookie? Ron, you're up.
I mean, it's impossible to pick against Shohei, so that means I'm going to. I think that Mookie Betts, a proven winner, a world champion a couple of times. I think he's the guy, when I look at him, and we talked about this earlier in the show, he's a guy that just makes that Dodger team whole. He's can do a lot of things for you, but we're talking about one at-bat at one particular moment when you need a hit or you need a sac fly, you got to get someone in. And I think Mookie has a lot of different ways to get the job done. And this is going to be blasphemous to say, but Shohei does have a few holes that you might be able to exploit, where I think Mookie has less.
All right, so I'm going to go Shohei Ohtani. And the numbers sort of back it up. You look at the high leverage numbers between these two guys. You look at it right here. And so the high leverage moments overall is that you've got Ohtani with a bit higher numbers. Look, they're both excellent, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm looking at it thinking Ohtani's got a little bit better numbers overall. And I think that there's such a fear factor in him that his presence in the box is different than Mookie Betts' presence in the box. They're both great. But for me, I would want Ohtani to be that guy. And I might actually go Freddie Freeman second and then Betts third. But here's the interesting point. Would you lead off Betts or bat Ohtani first? Because right now, remember, when Betts left and he was hurt, he was the leadoff hitter. They moved Ohtani to the leadoff spot, but that one spot in the lineup may be the one that comes up in a game-critical moment. Who should be leading off for the Dodgers?
Boy, I just they were on a roll when Mookie Betts was leading off of that team. You just made an interesting point, is that if you have to face Betts and you have to face Ohtani and you're a pitcher, you're less apt to throw strikes to Ohtani, or you might go after Betts. That might give you a better result in getting a hit in a big situation.